Hello. Apologies for the confusion getting started with the commentary. A lower bracket match between delcaMX and RandomEffekt. Unfortunately, whoever is going to be out of the tournament. I feel like pretty much anything can happen when you have two maybe aren't as experienced with the game just yet. They're getting through Yoshi's Island 3, really the first real obstacle in this game, just fine. .259 RandomEffekt with a 258 didn't run on enough platforms, I guess. Into Yoshi's Island 4, I don't think we'll see his shell jump. Getting through just fine. Our runners getting over the... no problems. Picking up the flower. I enjoyed doing the small only strats on Iggy, but damage boost is fair, it saves time. Couple of standard Iggy fire kills. Still very close. delcaMX having a little trouble getting... It looks like kind of the same thing happened to RandomEffekt, or maybe that's their standard strategy, I don't know. RandomEffekt is flying very slow, but I'm not so good at flight speeds. At the start of the stage, you can't really use the timers to figure it out. Try room from delcaMX. Keeping the shell dish. I'm gonna have to look at... Effekt just went in the dry room and didn't try for the shell at all. that saves time if you're not going for the shell. So I don't recommend doing that, and switch off the ledge. delcaMX is taking full advantage of those minor problems, having pretty good ghost house, and starting to solidify that lead. Effekt stood up just a little bit too soon under the Eerie, and Ghost House. No cape, obviously. Whether they go back for it. Seems like delcaMX is trying for zips a little bit, but not really saving any time. Turn down my noise gate. Take me a second to work out. Alright, is that any better? Probably talking a little bit louder now because I'm aware of it. So that's not a great test. Effekt did go back to Donut Plains 1 for cape. It's going for zips or not. His flying under Star World 4 seems to be doing just fine. So yeah, it looks like delcaMX has a pretty sizable lead going into Bowser. Why, but that's not a huge deal. Effekt is a couple of stages behind. I think that's how the Door 5 damage boost was supposed to go. I don't know if it but at least came out of it with the cape, which is the most important thing. While RandomEffekt also flying under Star World 4 looked a little bit dangerously high, but able to get through. Cutting out. I don't know what I can do about this. Cape kill from delcaMX. RandomEffekt lost cape somehow. While I was worrying about my audio setup. it looks like delcaMX is just cruising through Cape Kill. Phase and delcaMX will take this. Just the first match. It is a best of 3. And that's GG. RandomEffekt is finishing this up no cape. Looks good so far. Successful ball skip other than getting hit. And not the fastest second hit in phase 2, but it gets the job done. And that is race number 1 finished. delcaMX had a very clean run, and feel like any mistakes that made you make any mistakes against a clean run like that, I don't feel like there's much you can do after that. Just getting the next race set up right now. Waiting for everyone to join and ready up. I don't think this is insurmountable for RandomEffekt. There are some minor time saves that RandomEffekt isn't going for, but that's significant. I think the main thing is just getting through without any mistakes. At least less severe mistakes. Like we're getting started. Anyone to have problems with Yoshi's Island 2 in spite of the previous match that we had. Box jump just fine. Like they're gonna get through the rest of the level cleanly. No problem so far. Or if those were shell jump attempts, that wasn't really what I was expecting. In fact, jumped a little too high off of that fish, but he's NMFekt taking it very slowly on the nets. Okay, so delcaMX lost fire, but actually knew the small strats, so any problem with taking down Iggy's. In a very minor time loss in... And depending on the strat that delcaMX uses to pick up the cape in Donut Plains 1, it could cause problems. Since they seem to know what they're doing with the Iggy fight, I imagine they will be able to get cape just fine. The 2-bounce strat that actually works when you're small. Looked kind of like RandomEffekt was aim run back strat to get flight as last time, and it didn't really work out. It's intentional. There's now a stage of difference between them. So continues to have a good run. RandomEffekt can do about it. delcaMX drops the P-switch, tries to go back for it, well, tries to dive for it, I think, and stage switches our runners. I'm noticing a lot of little things that RandomEffekt is doing. I think a little bit more consistently some other way, and I feel like there are the improvements made by going for some strats that are consistent. Our runners are getting through the ghost house just fine. We may not see any zips. Oh, there was a zip. Some fairly good top zips from delcaMX. You can kind of see a lot of minor things in RandomEffekt's game, like walking along the bottom of that water level that slowly costing a little bit of time, and it really is adding up. I would say RandomEffekt had a fairly substantial lead and nearly caught up now. I think this is an example of me being proven wrong, really, about the most important thing. I think it's showing that little minor optimizations really do matter. And RandomEffekt just bumped the Koopa during the flight and in the pit. The way back to Donut Plains 1 to get a cape. I'm not sure what the prevailing wisdom is between that and World 1. Now, I have seen a few people go back for the Star World 1 cape. MX got, while I was paying attention to that, cape through both and room 7. Room 7, especially when you're ahead going into it. I'm figuring out what's going on between streams, but it looks like delcaMX got hit in the dark room and is going to be doing Bowser no cape. Meanwhile, RandomEffekt has gotten through Star World 4. And it doesn't look like delcaMX is going for ball skip. They may not know the no cape strats. At this point, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Is just trailing behind, going through the dark room. And land these 2 hits in phase 2, which tend to be difficult and also lose you time because 2 extra ball cycles, but delcaMX didn't seem to have any trouble. RandomEffekt getting hit by a Mecha Koopa and dying in Bowser just as delcaMX is their fight, phase 3, and taking the match. This is the last we're gonna see of RandomEffekt in this tournament. But it looks like they're still going to finish out the run. Certainly respect. To see if we're gonna get a chance to talk to who's in this race, but we might wanna give RandomEffekt a chance to finish first. Looks like they're gonna make one last attempt at showing us a good cape kill. I think taking off just a little bit too early, getting hit in the first phase. I'll skip. It looks like what happened was that the Mecha Koopa Bowser, as he was moving to the right, and so he didn't get far enough to do the ball drop animation. Bowser. RandomEffekt has forfeited the match, at that point, that's got to be really discouraging. In the waiting room. I guess I'll just move them into the call. Oh, doing that. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello, hello. What's up? Oh, hello.
If you're speaking, hello. I can't hear a maid.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm just a little bit flustered, I guess. Do a lot of commentary.
Yeah.
GG, Delta. Those are pretty good times. I had a good first race, and the second race, everything that went wrong pretty much could.
Yeah, but I'm happy with that first race because that's the first one I could do. Like that's the first good run that I could do in this tournament. So I'm happy
you had a very clean first run.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. The second one, okay.
I was saying during the commentary, RandomEffekt, I think little things that you could just adjust really easily to time and make things a little more consistent.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that I need to learn about this game, but I picked, as I mentioned on my last race, I picked this game up last year for playing it for the first time for the 12-hour challenge on this category.
Oh, nice.
And put up a pretty good PB after a couple hours and kind of called it a day. And then the tournament rolled around. I was like, hey, I know that game, and I can have some fun, and maybe I'll get a PB or two. And I know there's a lot that I could learn with the game. I'm probably not going to. It's just not my wheelhouse to really grind something like this. I did put a lot of work into the Bowser fight, and it paid off in the first race. It didn't pay off in the second race. But there's a lot of little things I do need to know, or I should know, that I'm just probably too lazy to really grind and learn at this point. I think I won't probably touch this for another year. But I know there's a little stress that probably people are like, what the hell did he just do? I go through the warp pipe in the first water level because I just get nervous about losing my cape, even though I don't grab the shell to boost myself forward, because I, for some reason, cannot do the turnarounds with the shell in my hand. Like, I always fling the shell out or lose my cape in trying to do it, so I just decided not to do it for races. And so I take that water section slow and shameful, and I still do it pretty horribly at that, but that's kind of my mentality with races. I had to do something that was consistent enough for me during races, and not what I might be learning for PBs or anything like that, especially like the Boo House, that there's much faster ways that I could go through that, but they're not safe enough for me for races. So yeah, that's why I choose those things.
I was wondering about the shell grab, because I know that shell, it's actually a little bit faster to just to not go in the dry room at all and grab the throw blocks.
Yeah, and it's more about it's really two things. One, if I go into the room where you would see a lot of people get the shell, I bypass some enemies, and that's pretty much the only reason I do it, is because it just alleviates some other enemies that might take my cape away. And then on top of that, I don't get the block for the same reason that I'm worried that I'm gonna use it wrong and I'm swimming too fast and I'm gonna lose my cape. My whole goal is just to keep cape, and I failed both races, but that's my goal in races, was just to keep the cape, and that was my strategy going forward.
Yeah, well, since you've been knocked out, I'm looking at your track through the tournament, and it's unfortunate that your first match didn't happen, and then...
Hey, I got a PB. I got a gigantic actual PB in the first race, so I am ecstatic right now. I got a PB by 46 seconds on the first race, so I'm very happy with this right now.
I'm really glad you had fun.
Definitely. And yeah, those are two good races from Delca. GG.
What do you think? It was really fun.
I feel like we've kind of been focusing on, and I don't know if there's anything else you want to...
No, nothing. Nah, nothing. I was happy with that first round. Now I'm trying to look which one I need to face now. I think it hasn't been decided. I think it's gonna be a while since match. And I was thinking actually that I need to learn how to ball skip without cape, so maybe I have time until the next match to actually learn.
I think that's really worth doing, because it's a really good time save over just kind of improvising. At least it was for me. I guess it kind of depends on how good your no cape Bowser fight is.
Yeah, I was actually prepped cape, so just in case I needed to do strats. It actually kind of worked because, well, not really, but no, well, because I run some other categories. Like when I lost the flower, like if I didn't practice the in the first castle, the kill without the cape, without the flower, I might have lost a lot. Yeah, I need to practice some backup.
That was really... I thought that was really cool that you knew that.
Yeah, like I had to react because I lost the flower in the last time. I don't even know what happened. It was really weird. Like, it was like, what happened? What do I do now? Like,
Yeah,
I usually reset.
Looked like the Crusher got you in the door, which I didn't really think that could happen, but
Yeah, I think I did a mistake. I don't even know. Maybe I stopped walking because I thought I was gonna get in the door.
I don't think we have any further matches for today. I'm just looking at the schedule. Seathorn versus Lesness V at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then we have M333 Rich versus Rupert, followed by whoever loses that match going against 1383. No, Rich and Rupert are at least names that I recognize, and I assume they're pretty good at this category. Actually, I know 333 Rich is, and I assume Rupert is. Exciting race to check out. And for now, I'm just gonna sign off.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.